Hello friends, welcome to the session on compilers. In this session, we'll be discussing about how to convert a non-deterministic finite automata into deterministic finite automata. In this session, we will see what are the limitations of NFA and why it is necessary to convert NFA into DFA. We will see the appropriate algorithm for for such conversion, and also we will see one example of given NFA and we will obtain the DFA for the NFA. Friends, as you know that you are viewing this session on my YouTube channel, Learn with Prakash Kanade, and subscribe to the channel to see many videos on the subjects of electronics and computer science. So let us start the session with how to convert NFA into DFA. Now we know that whenever we have a sequence of tokens, then the structure of the token can be described by a special expression called as the regular expression. And whenever we have a regular expression, then that regular expression can be converted into non-deterministic finite automata. So already we have seen the algorithm for such conversion. But in NFA, one can easily find there can be a transition from one state to the other state on the empty string. That is, there are certain epsilon transitions. Also in NFA, you will find that there can be a transition from one state to two or more states on the same input symbol. And therefore, we can say that the NFAs are ambiguous, and therefore it is very difficult to write computer programs for the given NFAs. Say for example, we will consider the NFA for the regular expression closure of A or B followed by ABB. Now in this diagram, one can easily observe that there is a transition from zero state to the one state on epsilon transition. Also, there is a transition from zero state to the state number 7 on the empty string epsilon. So it is very difficult that whenever you start coding for such NFA, then where you will go from the state 0. That is whether you will go from the state 0 to the 1 or you will go to the state 7 on the empty string. Also, we cannot write the appropriate computer program for an empty string, and therefore such NFAs are very difficult to program. And therefore it is necessary that we should convert these NFAs into DFAs. In DFA, there is no empty string transition. Also in DFA, there is no transition from one state to the two different states on the same input symbol. And therefore it is possible that once we obtain the DFA, then we can easily write computer programs. Now let us go for the algorithm for the conversion of NFA into DFA. And this algorithm is being called as a subset construction. So suppose we have been given at the input a NFA N, and now at the output we want to obtain a DFA D. And here we should remember that the DFA D should accept the same language as that of N. So in this algorithm, we will need these three functions. The first function is being called as epsilon closure of S, and this function will return the set of the NFA states that are reachable from some state S of the NFA on the epsilon transition alone. So whatever the states of NFA are there, from those states, if you are able to reach to other state on epsilon transition alone, then such set can be obtained by using this function epsilon closure of S. Epsilon closure of T is the another function which will give us the set of NFA states that are reachable from some state S in the set T on epsilon transition alone. So whenever we have some state T, and in the T, suppose there are some states S, and from them, if we are able to reach to other states on epsilon transition, then that set can be computed by using epsilon closure of T. We will need another function, and this function is being called as move T, A, where it will return us the set of the NFA states to which there is a transition on the input symbol A from some state S in T. So suppose we have some state T, and suppose there are different states like S in T, and then we will see how many to other states we are able to reach on the input symbol A from the state S in the T. So these three functions will be required in this algorithm. Now these are the methods that are being followed whenever we want to construct the given NFA into DFA. Now initially we will assume that the number of the states of the DFA is an empty string or an empty set. So we can say that initially what we will do is that we will compute the epsilon closure of S0, where S0 is the start state of the NFA. Now, once you compute epsilon closure of S0, then you will get the first state of the DFA. And this state will be added into this set of states of the DFA, and this state will be unmarked. Now, we will repeat this while loop as long as the DFA states consist of some unmarked state. Now suppose there is some state T, and this state is the unmarked state. Now we will mark it, and then we will check for the each input symbol A in sigma. We will compute S is equal to epsilon closure of mu T comma A. So as I told you that we will compute that how many states are there which are making the transition on the input symbol A to the different states. And then this state, we will check whether it is already present in the DFA or not. If it is already present, then we will not add it. But if it is already not there, then we will add this state into the DFA states, and we will make it as an unmarked state. So this procedure we need to perform continuously as long as there is some unmarked state in the DFA. Now in the transition table, we will make an entry from mu T comma A to S, so that we will understand that there is a transition from one state to another state of the DFA. Now for each state S in the DFA, we will see that if there is any state small s which belongs to the capital S and which is the final state in the NFA, then the corresponding DFA state will be marked as a final state. So if any state of the DFA contains the final state of the NFA, then the same state will be marked as the final state of the DFA. So this is the algorithm that we need to follow whenever we want to convert a given NFA into DFA. Now, in order to have proper understanding of this algorithm, we will see one example of the given NFA, and we will see how the NFA can be converted into DFA. So let us see one example. Now suppose we have been given a regular expression closure of A or B, ABB. Now we know that for this regular expression, we can obtain the NFA as shown in this diagram. So there are the states 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is the final state. So one can easily observe that this diagram, this transition diagram exactly follows this regular expression. That is, there can be 0 or more number of times A or B followed by ABB. So there should be at least a string ABB. So whenever we start from the state 0 and suppose an epsilon transition, we go to the state 7, then we have at least ABB. So one can easily observe that this transition diagram will denote all the strings that are denoted by the regular expression. Now, in order to obtain the DFA for this NFA, what we will do is that we will compute the first state of the DFA. Now the start state of the NFA is 0, and therefore we will compute epsilon closure of 0. Now by using this function, we can compute the first state of the DFA. Now one can easily observe from this diagram that from 0, we can go to the different state on epsilon transition alone. From 0, we can go to 1. From 0, we can go to 7. From 1, we can go to 2. From 1, we can go to 4. And therefore, you can say that 0, 1, 2, 4, and 7, this will constitute the first state of the DFA. And suppose we call it as a state A. Now 0 is being added because from the state 0 to itself, we can always go on the epsilon transition, and therefore 0 is also added. 1 is added, then 7 is added, then 2 and 4 are added, because these are the states to which we can reach from the state 0 on epsilon transition alone. Now, initially, this is the first state of the DFA, and therefore, we will make it as an unmarked state. Now, once you make it an unmarked state, then as per the algorithm, we will make it now marked state, and we will compute these steps to compute the other state of the DFA. Now, we will compute the DTran of A comma A, where it is just nothing but epsilon closure of mu A comma A. So initially we will compute mu A comma A. That is, we will see from the different state of capital A, how many states are there to which we can reach on this input symbol A. So one can easily observe that from the state 2, we can reach to the state 3 on the input symbol A. Also, one can easily observe that from 7, we can reach to the state 8 on the input symbol A. And now there are no other state from these states of capital A which can be reached on the input symbol A. And therefore, this function mu A comma A will return us 3 comma 8. And when we compute epsilon closure of 3 comma 8, then one has to see that how many states are reachable from these states 3 comma 8 on epsilon transition alone. So one can easily observe that 3 and 8 are already there. Also from 3 we can reach to the 6, from 6 we can reach to the 1, from 1 we can reach to 2 and 4, and therefore one can easily observe that all these states are added. Also, from the state 8, it is not possible to go to any other state on epsilon transition. And therefore, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 are included in this transition table. And this state is the new state of the DFA, because this is different from the earlier state capital A. And therefore, this state is being called as the state B, or the second state of the DFA. Now, similarly, for this A, we will consider now another input symbol, because there are two input symbols present in the regular expression. And therefore, now we will compute dtron A comma B, which is equal to epsilon closure of mu A comma B. Therefore, we will see from these states of A whether it is possible to reach to the other state on the input symbol B. One can easily observe that from 4 we can reach to 5 on the input symbol B, and therefore this function mu A comma B will give us the state 5. And now we can compute epsilon closure of 5. That is, we will see from 5 to how many states we can go on epsilon transition alone. But one can easily observe that from 5 we can go to the 6, from 6 we go to the 1, from 1 we can go to 2 and 3, and therefore we can say that these states will be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and this state is being called as the state C of the DFA. So in this way we have computed the 3 states of the DFA. Now the state A is marked, but the remaining states B and C are unmarked, and therefore we need to repeat these algorithmic steps in order to mark them one by one, and these steps are repeated. So if you go on computing like this, then for this example, one can easily observe that we'll be getting the states of the DFA, and these are the 5 states A, B, C, D, and E. The state A will contain the NFA states 0, 1, 2, 4, and 7. The state B will contain the states 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. The state C will contain the states 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. The state D will contain the NFA states 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. And the DFA state E will contain the states 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 10. And as far as the transition is concerned, one can easily observe that the state A will have a transition to the state B on the input symbol A. And similarly, all other states will also have the transition to the state B on the input symbol A. But as far as the symbol B is concerned, state A will have a transition to C, B will have a transition to D, C will have a transition to C, D will have a transition to E, and E will have a transition to C. Now, once you obtain the transition table for the DFA, then you can draw the transition diagram as per the transition table. So this is our start state A, and we will go to the state B on the input symbol A, and from A we will go to C on the input symbol B. From B we will go to the state B itself on the input symbol A, but for input symbol B we will go from B to D. Now from C on the input symbol A, we will go to B, and for the symbol B, we will go to the C itself. From D, we will go to the state B on the input symbol A, but for B, we will go from D to E on the input symbol B. Now from E on the input symbol A, we will go to the state B, and from E, we will go to the state C on the input symbol B. So one can easily observe that this transition diagram will not contain any epsilon transition or empty string transition. Also, one can easily observe that as far as any state is concerned and the particular input symbol is concerned, we will have a transition to the unique state. And there are no two similar transitions on the same input symbols to the two different states. And therefore, this is a DFA for which it is possible to write a computer program. We will see one computer program, which is a C program, and which will give us how the functionality of the lexical analyzer can be implemented. In this program, what we are doing is that we are checking whether the input string is a valid identifier or not. So this is a function valid identifier, and it will return a true if the input string is a valid identifier. Otherwise, it will return a false value. So as far as the rule of the identifier is concerned, we know that the first character of the string should not be a number. And if it is anything else, then we are returning a true value. And if it is a number, then we are returning a false value. So in this C program, this is a prototype program. And in this program, we have made an arrangement of returning a true value whenever the first character is not a number. Now in the main function, we have declared a string, and suppose the string is area. Now we know that area is a valid identifier, and therefore this function will return a true value, and accordingly the message will be printed. So whenever we type this program and execute this program on online C compiler, then you will find the message will be displayed that area is a valid identifier. So as I told you, this is a prototype program which will explain us how it is possible to write simple C programs and which will perform the functionality of the lexical analyzer. For DFA also, we can write the program, but that we will write once we optimize the DFA. Thank you friends for viewing the session. Hopefully you have understood how it is possible to convert the NFA into DFA.